All right, let's get the party started. Wait. Oh, right. I moved my chat window to the other monitor. Hello, Atlasim. Colombo Gaming. Colombo. That's a pretty fun name. Elon Muskrat. Hello. And Bob J. Bo. I see you. All right, so I think it's gonna be just a short stream. Yeah, just a short stream because I think some people have wanted to see my reaction for the dev blog, and I've never really done it, and I'm just gonna do it as a little live stream because well, my first reaction is that there's really no points to making videos for these dev blogs anymore. So yeah, just sort of like a scrap mechanic and chill stream, and I'm also going to I'm starting with the Twitter post that previewed the dev blog. So one of the things that I commented on it, but one of the things that we're also going to be doing in this stream is seeing what everybody else is saying, like literally everybody else. Yeah, and we're gonna do that 2 times on Twitter, and then there's also some comments that were on the Steam store or like the Steam post. There's like some people saying some things on there. I'm not exactly sure, so wait a second. I can see chat on the screen. Yeah. I put the chat window on the same screen so that I don't know. You guys can see yourself chatting. You can see the stream delay and everything. Wait, what? Can you guys actually hear me? I'm just getting like a weird thing, a weird notification from YouTube right now. So can you guys actually hear the things that I'm saying? I'm gonna assume that you guys can't if you don't actually tell me that you can. Okay, well. Okay. I don't know, just a weird. I guess there's not a usual stream. There's like no real audio besides just me talking into a mic, and there's no real like gameplay happening. So there's no sound except for this microphone. Anyway, let's just get into it. It should be like a short enough stream. So DevBlog 23, they teased this little image, and I think oh, that's right. I zoomed in on Twitter a lot. Never mind that. But I never really cared what this was. Wait. First, the thing that I wanted to actually mention was the reason why I'm not making a video about this, or the reason why I think there's no point, is because Scrap Mechanic dev blogs, I've come to learn over the years, is entirely focused on the people that already play the game Scrap Mechanic. It's a little bit weird. Like, if you think about it, somebody that's never played Scrap Mechanic before, but they're like starting to get some interest in the game, and then they see a dev blog about the game, they have no idea what's going on. Like, not a clue about what's going on in the game. So dev blogs are just there for the people that already know what's going on, and they're phrased in such a way to make you wonder, like, oh, what's coming up? What's the next new update? And it's difficult to do that for a new player that's never, like, they don't care. They don't care what the next thing is. It's weird. So anyway, that's why I'm not doing a dedicated video for it, because it's not going to appeal to, it's just the people that already play Scrap Mechanic, which is, I guess, most of my videos anyway, but meh. Anyway, before the dev blog, they teased this image. I personally didn't even care what it was. I'm just like, just release the dev blog. That's, I didn't even bother to guess. I'm just saying, looking forward to seeing what's new. But lots of other people actually, no, not that one. Lots of other people actually had like their own ideas about what it could be, and I guess let's just see what people are saying. Is there a beta or something? No. The dev blog is just it's not even showing off like actual updates to the game. I don't want to call it like over promising and under delivering, but that's usually what a dev blog has been in the past. So let's see if this one is the case too. Yeah, there's just someone asking about if there's going to be modding news, and Scrap Mechanic, the Twitter account, verifies that they're actually giving modding updates. This guy I've seen a lot of on Twitter. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this, because Twitter is a very like toxic platform sometimes. So Maybe I shouldn't be checking out specifically what people say. But a lot of people had some guesses about what it could be, and portal gun, I think that would be fantastic in the game scrap mechanic, but it's definitely not that. It's definitely not that. This thing, the mining mount, I think it's called, in Terraria. I actually looked it up. There's a thing that this image is terrible, but basically this image I found on the internet, it's very similar in shape and like the structure of what it is. You sit in it and you just point around and you can like laser mine the area around you in Terraria. So sort of like a 2D version of what I thought it was based on what some of the people were saying on Twitter. What the heck is this guy on? Yeah, okay. 10 plus years of development, blah, 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 blah. Do you see the things that I'm talking about? Like, the what? What? People can't make any point without somebody else making just as useless of a point. It's such a weird platform. But I think it's like a direct result of how few words people are forced to communicate with each other. Like, okay, so like this. This is a excellent example. Wow, this is the same guy going around just commenting on everyone's feedback. What the heck? Okay, I don't want to... Look. I don't want to call this guy a fanboy or anything, but it's strange for somebody to come, like, rushing to Axolot's defense when everyone here is a fan of the game's scrap mechanic. Everyone here likes the game. So... this is why I call some people a fanboy, is because they're fans of Axolot and not scrap mechanic, ? Like, what is this guy's motive right now? You know what I mean? But, like, to say this, like, the lack of actual game updates hurts my interest in your game. This is something that's, like, very true. That, like, people lose interest in the game, and the way that Axolot does things sometimes tends to push away their own player base. So... the response, they already got your money. Like, that just makes the game seem like a scam. You know, as long as they trick you into buying it, haha, they got you. So that also implies that they really don't care about anyone's interest in the game. Like, this is terrible. This is terrible. Why am I even going through this? No communication since... You see the thing that I'm talking about? Okay, I think if Axolot actually goes through all of these... they should seriously consider these feedbacks. As much, like, even though this is all caps, they should seriously consider the things actually being said. And not just respond to it with things like this. No console support, definitely not happening. Oh yeah, this person tried to mirror the image to get a clue. But I think it was a little bit obvious for people. I think, if it's a turret seat like many seem to think, then this would make no sense. Oh, yeah. It's likely... they're just saying that it's likely a seat on this side, not another steering wheel. Yeah, so... I think probably the biggest... So, remember how I was saying that Scrap Mechanic DEVBLOG is, like... directly targeted towards the players that already play the game. It's not written and phrased in such a way that's supposed to attract new players to the game's scrap mechanic. It's, generally speaking, dev blogs are written in a way to hype up the players that are already playing the game. So posting something like this on Twitter, as fun as it is to have a teaser image and ask people, can you guess what it is? I think this entire Twitter post is overall insulting to the player base that already plays scrap mechanic. It's kind of like, you know, shaking the keys in front of a baby or something, and you know, just say, like, can you guess what it is? Like, just show us. You don't have to do that. You already have our attention and interest. You don't have to lose that interest by playing this silly game. You know what I mean? It just seems like the developers are trying way too hard to try to hype up people that are already hyped up. Like, you have the attention already. Whoa, whatever. Whatever. Oh, man. Durf, first time I saw that seat moving, I thought, tank treads. Yeah. Let's actually just hop into the actual dev blog. See, this is another thing that, like, lots of people knew exactly what it was just from a little sneak peek. It's a little bit strange for me that, yeah, it's just strange for me that Axolot seems to, really want to do this song and dance with its own players. Can you guess what it is? Teleport. This is probably also something that Axolot does to farm ideas out of their own player base. Like, they just write this down, like, oh, jot that down. We're gonna do that on DEVBLOG 72. Like, it's it's something so ridiculous. Controller support. That was something that I did as a fun thing one time. Anyway, let's actually just and there's another teleporter suggestion. Oh my gosh. Material scanner. That would be pretty cool. Oh, look at this. Somebody even made exactly what it is. Yeah, the people knew exactly what it was before they even... So anyway, just from this Twitter post, it's like people knew exactly what it was. Most people really didn't care to even guess. And the guesses are kind of all over the place. They either knew exactly what it was or they were far off. But everyone else is just, finally. Oh, jeez. Like, what the heck are some of these people saying? It's a controllable rolling ball. Yeah, that might have been showed. What? Alright, so the next Twitter post was when they were actually releasing the DEVBLOG 23. Before we get into some of these comments about what people say about the DEVBLOG on Twitter, let's actually go into the actual DEVBLOG on Steam. And we'll see, we're going to take a look at the actual DEVBLOG, and then afterwards we're going to take a look at the comments on Steam and Twitter. So, actual DEVBLOG time. Yeah. My first impression, like, I technically already saw this DEVBLOG, so unfortunately you guys are not going to see my real first impressions or anything like that. I'm just going to have to mention what they were. But that's just because, like, I later found out, like, nope, I'm not making a dedicated video for this. Jeez. Durf, I wonder how powerful the rotation would be. I wonder if you can maybe hook it up to an engine and change power. Yeah. There's definitely some things to mention here that I'm pretty confident no other YouTuber would bother to mention. So the first thing that they revealed in the DEVBLOG is exactly what it is, and it is the turret seat, like a lot of people were saying. My first reaction to seeing these animated GIFs was the thought that finally Axolot has been listening to a suggestion that I gave to them like a year and a half ago, where I basically said that if they were going to be doing underground mining, they should do the terrain destructible like it is in the game Astroneer. So I don't know if anybody here actually plays the game Astroneer, but it's it definitely has a very different visual style to it. You can think of it like a very polygonal, plain-looking game, but you have the ability to just, like, mine anywhere in the ground. You can design your own mine shafts, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here. So that was my first impression of this. These GIFs is that finally Axolot listened to one of my suggestions. I just have no idea how they actually did it, how good it performs, if it's anything like Astroneer. Actually, it's just the overall idea of being able to mine in any direction. They did it. So, like, it's something that I've already been waiting for. I'm not surprised by this GIF at all. I am happy to see more of the sticky wheels, though. That's a thing. And this GIF right here, this one in the middle, this my first impression of this was I think the same thing that a lot of other people were saying in my Discord, like, oh, so it's just a seat for camera controls. So it's a little bit difficult for me to be like excited for this as a new feature in the game scrap mechanic, because I've already had this for years now with the mod pack number logic stuff, like the orient block. Just to, I don't even know how much I should be saying. Like, it's obviously a turret seat, so you're going to be using it as a turret, and they have this attachment point in the front that you can attach anything to, right? So I think that this is a little bit silly. I think, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a bad addition to the game. I think it's actually a good thing overall, and overall, this dev blog, I think, is a better dev blog than most. The thing that I think is silly, though, is if you were to consider the mod pack parts that we've already had, playing around with for years at this point, I designed those parts to be used, like, to be extremely modular so that they can be applied to any idea. And I thought the point behind that was to apply to the game that Scrap Mechanic was, where you, as a mechanic, as an engineer, have to build your solution to do what you want it to do. So this turret seat seems like an all-in-one solution to provide you camera-controlled seat for whatever you attach in the front. And if you ask me, that's a little bit different than how I saw it, where you would build your camera-controlled seat with a couple of bearings and an orient block, right? Like, you can still have camera control, but you would build it even more custom than this. Like, you can put the attachment point somewhere else if you're just building it with the mod pack stuff. You know what I mean? So this, as an all-in-one solution, is a little bit limiting compared to how I thought about designing sort of the same thing. And, like, this is a recurring theme, too, in the Scrap Mechanic dev blogs and survival mode. Because if you think about another mod pack number logic part, which was the tracker, the tracker is just something that you can, like, slap onto any creation or anywhere in the world, and you can track it with the orient block. So yeah, similar to how survival mode added the beacon part, it seems like the exact same thing, where they're taking a lot of the concepts from the mod pack number logic and just making an all-in-one solution to be a giant part. Like, what is this part? Like 5 by 5 by 5 or 6 or 7 blocks tall? It's a huge part. Same with the beacon. It's way too huge. Right? And so then this got me thinking about what if this was a 1 by 1 by 1 part? Like, literally the size of one block. And it, like, just sort of hit me when I first saw it that this is exactly... Let's just go up to the top here. This, with an attachment point on the bottom and an attachment point in the front, this is exactly what players have been wanting for a very, very long time in Scrap Mechanic, and that's a ball bearing, or like a 360-degree joint. A bearing that isn't just on one axis. And players and mod makers have tried to get around that limitation a lot in the game, like by creating all different kinds of mod parts and panels and like invisible bearings and stuff and blueprints that are put together for you beforehand. But if this can do the 2-axis rotation with 2 different attachment points, why can't it be just a single 1 by 1 by 1 part, a ball bearing, right? And I understand that, like, there might be some complications there for how you hook this up to an engine. But if it has 2 attachment points, why can't it have 2 of those bearing connection circles that you can connect the engine to, right? In the same way that you would build a camera control with the mod pack parts. Why couldn't you just connect something else to it? So another thing that I don't necessarily like about this seat is that it's it's only ever going to be a seat. It's never going to be anything else. You can't program it with, to turn in specific ways with logic. You need somebody to sit in there to operate this thing. So that's already a huge difference that I still prefer my mod pack parts. Like, I'm probably never going to use this. Especially if the mod pack parts are there for me to use. I just build it myself. It seems like it has the same front width as the saddles. Does it? Maybe in between the circles on the sides, but I'm pretty sure that's 5 blocks thick. It might be a 2-part thing, though. I don't know. They're talking about it like as if it's one part. They're showing it off like as if it's one part. If it was two parts, what could you do with each part by itself? That's something else that Axolot never really thinks about is, like, if this was actually two parts, like a top and a bottom, what else could you put on the bottom part to act as another version of the top? Could you do anything? Or, like, if it's just two parts that are made for each other and no other parts, then why would it be two parts? You just make it one part. So yeah, I want to be clear that I'm not saying that this is a bad thing in any way. Like, this is still a good thing. It's still going to be a fun thing in the game. But I think that because of this devblog, like, it really made me realize that how Axolot approaches their design for a game and how I would approach the same game design, they seem to be, like, very, very different from each other. So I understand a little bit more about, I think, how Axolot wants to do it, but I'm going to hold firm on my opinion that this is way too simplistic and all-in-one solution. If the game Scrap Mechanic is supposed to be about building your solutions as an engineer, this is giving players a huge shortcut, which isn't a bad thing, but, like, who are you appealing to? 10-year-olds? It's, which you can do, right? Which you can do. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that if you're making a little kid's game, it's not going to be appealing to the people that wants to build those more complex solutions, right? So I think both options are a better option than just one or the other. And that's something that Axolot should probably consider. Let's see here. The Sawbot. What does it say about the Sawbot? We're showing off a few new helper bots in this devblog, but this one is our new favorite. Is it? It's their new favorite, is it? Oh, it's the favorite. Let's bash it. No, I'm just joking. Previously we revealed that wedges are finally coming to Scrap Mechanic. Wait, what? The game doesn't have wedges already? No. In a lot of similar ways to what I already said, like, I've already had mod pack polygons. I've been designing new polygons for a while now. I'm actually gonna have an update video for my second channel. If you don't know what it is, it's just youtube.com/scrapmechanicmods. Yeah, that channel's been pretty active for a while. Sorry, inactive. It's been pretty inactive for a while now. So I'm gonna be doing an update video coming out sometime soon, talking about a lot of cool stuff. But anyway. I've had mod pack polygons in all different wedge sizes for a while now, so in the same way that I'm sort of, like, not surprised by the first thing in the devblog, I'm sort of not surprised by this either, and I'm gonna describe it in the exact same way, where this is kind of a huge part, but it does make sense. It does make sense. I'm starting to understand how Axolot sees their own survival mode a little bit better. Yeah, they showed off draggable wedges, and that's definitely, like, a huge, just massive improvement in the game. But looking at this image over here, like this one right here, it shows me, like, these borders for the polygons, the borders on the wedges. I'm not gonna lie, like, this just looks ugly. This looks absolutely ugly. People are not going to want to build out of a lot of these wedges because who wants a bunch of lines on their surfaces like that? I'm not trying to insult Axolot, but I do, from, like, a programming perspective, I understand exactly why they did this. They're avoiding a lot of issues with their texture, like stretching and warping. Like, they're just avoiding it completely by putting the border on the edges, so they never have to worry about that sort of thing ever again. Although I do think it's a little bit weird for the wood texture, because you should be able to just stretch the wood texture and it should still look like wood. You know what I mean? If you cut a tree, you cut a tree down, you're gonna see the rings in the tree that you're gonna be able to tell the tree's age, like how old the tree is. If you cut that same tree down at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, you're not gonna see these circles, you're gonna see the ovals. It's the exact same image, just stretched out a different way because you cut it at 45-degree angle. You know what I mean? So they still could have done that with the wood texture. I'm not sure about the metal texture. there's all different kinds of solutions to the problem of, you know, how you're going to render the textures on a slanted surface, but Axolot seems to want to figure that out on their own. But yeah, no. The thing that they're showing here, I shouldn't be criticizing like what they're actually developing. It's more about the design of survival mode. So finally, players are going to have the ability to get any custom wedge size that they want to build with in survival mode. I'm not exactly sure what the benefit of this is. Like, if you could already build with, what do you need? What do you need wedges for in survival mode? You know what I mean? If it's not the visual appearance that you're after, and it's just the function of like a slanted surface, why do you need this Sawbot at all? I'm still a little bit confused by that. You use the Sawbot to turn any material into wedges, and then you can drag them? Is that how it works? I'm not sure if that's how it works. I thought it was the Sawbot that cuts it to a very specific size, so you don't get to drag it at all. Maybe that is how it works. So then, do you need the correct amount of blocks? Like, if you wanted a 2x3 wedge, do you need to put in 3 blocks of wood? Or 6 blocks of wood to cut in half? I don't know. I don't know how to think about it. In my opinion, I don't think draggable wedges are needed, as longer wedges would be fine. Material-wise, yes, wedges that are different texture is nice for decor. Yeah, that's exactly, like, I'm not knocking the actual textured wedges. The point is, though, that, the point that I made was just having these borders kind of takes away from that. You know what I mean? It's, well, anyway, there's actually something that I have to say about draggable wedges in general, and that's going to be on my Scrap Mechanic Mods video. So whenever that video comes out in the next few days or so, you guys are definitely going to want to see that, because it's like a big thing that I'm revealing in that video about draggable wedges. And you know how that's going to apply to mod support and the polygons that exist and things like that. So anyway, when that video comes out, I'll definitely be mentioning it on this channel too. But it's just a big, so many things to mention in that video. Anyway, this video, this stream, I'm guessing that every block will make 2. Yeah, okay. Wait, a single block? A single block should be enough for just a regular wedge, or 2 regular wedges, right? I think that's what you mean, because you're cutting a block in half. So you need half the amount of blocks for the dimensions on the bottom and side. Right. Yeah, I'm still a little bit curious, like, what's the point of all of this in survival mode? Especially if you have access parts to the ramps that are in the warehouse. Why would you need to build your way? I'm thinking this is more, like, I'm trying to understand the functional purpose of this, right? Like, you don't necessarily need to build a ramp for your car to drive up or something like that. Or how does this help? You know what, actually? You know what? It might help with the farm bots. If you want to, like, build a one-way gate, like a ramp that they can go up one way, but then they can't climb over it the other way. So that's definitely one way that you can use wedges. Anyway, will they add it in creative? That's a great question, and I think it's something that you need to watch my upcoming Scrap Mechanic Mods video for. I definitely go in super in depth into the draggable wedges thing, and how it's implemented in the game. I reveal some ideas that I've had for a while now, and it's do I say it's like a risk that other mod makers are gonna rush to take those ideas or something? I don't know. I don't think it really matters, because the things that I say in the video, you'll see that video when you get to it. Let's focus on the dev blog here. So when I went down to these images down here, my first impression was, this is very cool. The first image is already, like, much cooler looking than the existing warehouses that we see. This isn't a warehouse, though. This is underground, so it looks very cool. I'm looking forward to walking around in it. There's something up here that I don't exactly know what it is. It looks like just a like a walkway, like a maintenance path that you can take. What is that? You're saying that this thing in the middle is a very big battery? I don't know if it is. It might be. It might be some indicator of like power that you have to plug in or cut off. The second image down here, like my impressions of it, same thing. It looks very cool. The only thing that I can say is that like it's hard for me to get a sense of scale or like what I'm even looking at. Yeah, like if you look over here where my mouse is this a walkway? Is this something that is the size of a dwarf, that a dwarf walks along this? Like, how big is a dwarf? It's like I said, it's just hard for me to get a sense of scale. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It looks very cool, but I think the developers themselves can appreciate this a lot more than anyone actually reading the devblog, because the developers obviously know what it is, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm looking at here. So, very cool photo. Absolutely no context with it, so I don't know what I'm even looking at. I can't appreciate this to its fullest. This photo, on the other hand, I can appreciate to its fullest, because these yellow wires or pipes, or I don't know exactly what they are. I'm guessing they're wires. The yellow ones are a representation of a pro gamer's PC, right? This is how you're supposed to have all of your wires nice and tidy. My wires are the back. My PC setup is the wires in the back. Such a, like, disgusting. Just a disgusting pile of wires. I mean, we already have something called spaghetti in the game Scrap Mechanic. We don't need more of it, you know what I mean? No. But like I don't know. Like before, it looks very cool. I don't see the context of it. Like I don't know what I'm looking at. Right. The thing that I do know that I'm looking at are these balls. These balls over here. Very clearly they're supposed to be rolling down this track. So immediately I'm thinking like Marble Run. Like that's super fun. You know, very very cool updates. It looks like they're coming up with for chapter 2. And yeah, it seems like you're supposed to put something inside and basically use gravity to transport it from one location to the next. And presumably you could step inside one of these yourself and go for a ride. So that's very cool. I think that's something to look forward to. I'm not sure if that's actually the case though. They don't mention anything about that. And yeah, the last image is sort of the same thing as I said before. It looks very cool. Looks very pretty. There's nothing really I can say about it that's bad or criticism. The only thing is the same thing as before. It's hard for me to get a sense of scale. I don't know how big this stuff is. I don't know how small the stuff is. I don't know what a dwarf looks like. Like standing next to this. Is this a doorway? I don't know if this is a doorway. So just a little bit. They did an excellent job presenting this stuff as pretty cool, but I think that they forget that they know what the stuff is because they're making it. The people that's never seen it before have a hard time realizing what it is in their brains. So we need a little bit more than that sometimes. Yes, the multi-component kit. So my impression of this is not good. It's not okay. So what I think about component kits in the game, in the survival game already, is that it's a complete waste of time and kind of a bad design choice. There's so many other ways that you can do upgrading in the game, like upgradable parts and stuff like that. So the design of Scrap Mechanic Survival is already heavily dependent on this universal resource called component kits, and it kind of takes away from the value of everything that you have built, everything that you've ever upgraded. Because to upgrade to the next level, you just need just a few component kits, bam, 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 upgraded, right? And the only way for the developers to change how easy or difficult that is just the drop rate of component kits, which I think is a terrible, terrible filter for how people actually value the things that they have in their game. So one example that I already shared on my Discord was that just as a basic example, because there's actually like hundreds upon hundreds of different ways that you could implement upgrading, like an upgrade system in your game. So I'm just going to give just one example. And that's if you take, like, if you create a level 1 seat out of the different materials that you needed it. So it was some cotton, some metal, some other stuff. I don't know exactly what it is. But let's say you have your level 1 seat. If you want to upgrade that seat to level 2, I think you should be able to put the exact same resource, like the exact same crafting recipe into the level 1 seat. So basically you're doubling the level 1 seat crafting recipe to create a level 2 seat. And if you wanted a level 3 seat, then you need another level 2 seat to combine with your existing level 2 seat to create a level 3 seat. So it's 2 level 2s to make a level 3, 2 level 3s to make a level 4, 2 level 4s to make a level 5. So a level 5 seat is actually worth, 2, 4, 8, 16 level 1 seats? Right? So a design like that is not dependent at all on component kits. You don't need any component kits for that. Although you might still, like, you know, maybe Axolot wants to toss in, oh yeah, you bring in all the crafting recipe plus a component kit, and now you can combine them together. So that actually, gives so much value to the level 5 stuff, right? Imagine if you're trying to fight a farm bot and it destroys your level 5 seat. You're going to be like, no! Like that, like it has so much value that you just lost. And I think that's actually a good thing for the design of Scrap Mechanic. But if component kits are still around, it takes away from that. It takes away from that in that if you lose a level 5 seat, you're just like, meh, whatever. I'll just slap all my component kits into this other seat over here, and then I have a level 5 again. So yeah, there's I want to be clear here. I don't think that a lot of these ideas are bad. I just think the overall design is very kind of shallow. They never really put enough thought into it. You know what I mean? So having a multi-component kit is just sort of like saying, oh, it's a level 2 component kit. Does this mean that it's worth 2 component kits? Can you put this into something that would take just a component kit and it's worth like 2 of them? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what this means, but I think that Axolot's sort of like trapping themselves in a corner here with how they've already designed component kits and upgrading in the game. You know what I mean? It's, I mean, you made a silly thing even sillier, in my opinion. That's sort of what I think about the component kits and the design of how it's used. You might see that as sort of like a reoccurring theme. It's a better component kit. I don't know. That's funny. Chat is just like, made you look. Wow. You got me. So this is the ore collector and the crusher. As far as I can tell, it's basically like a magnetic thing. Like you can drive around and resources like ore, metal ore. Maybe is there going to be crystals in the game or something like that? I don't know. But basically the metal, like the precious metals that you can collect underground, I'm assuming are like magnetized to this, or you could just go around stuffing them into this. And then I guess you use this to put it inside the crusher to refine stuff. It's basically the exact same thing as one of those collection things that you already have. And the gosh, I forget what it's called, but there's already like a crusher for wood and stone, right? Like a refine bot for wood and stone. So that's basically the same thing that they've copy and pasted, but for the underground resources. It seems a little bit weird. Again, I have nothing to say other than that Axolot's design seems very shallow here. Because we already have a collector for wood and stone, and we already have a refiner for wood and stone. So releasing Chapter 2, having a level 2 component kit and a level 2 collector and refiner, it just seems very lazy. Like they're copy-pasting everything that they already have. Yeah. Let's move on to something that I can actually be excited for, and that's a new enemy to fight. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that the harder materials are, shouldn't be in the game. There definitely should be harder materials, but I think, like I explained with how upgrading can be implemented in hundreds and hundreds of different ways, Axolot never really bothered to think about other ways to do this sort of thing. Like does Axolot, did they ever think to themselves that, like, maybe they don't need this stuff? What was the thinking behind this that made them think, like, yes, we need to add another crusher? Like, why couldn't they just use the same refine bot? Or why does a harder material have to break down a refine bot? You know what I mean? It just... I don't know. It seems like they're not putting enough thought into this stuff. That's what it seems like. Oh, Durf, is this your first stream? What? No. Not even close. No, I've been on YouTube way too long for this to be my first stream. I've been on YouTube long enough for me to be ashamed of how little subscribers I have. So what are you doing? What are you doing watching this live stream with a red subscribe button, huh? That should be grayed out. You should be subscribed already. Anyway. No. So I think Trashbot, they mentioned that it doesn't have all of its textures, yeah. Because that was definitely the first thing that I noticed. I'm just like, wait, isn't there supposed to be an eyeball there? Like a red glowing eyeball? So anyway, the only things that I have to say about the Trashbot, well, first of all, my initial impression was just like, yes, finally, give us something new to interact with and play with. And I think this is where, like, we were waiting on this guy because of a lot of the sticky goo. So the first GIF, it shows us, it doesn't look like this stuff is actually going to be damaging the player in any way. It just seems like it's shooting sticky goo to slow the player down, I guess. And that would probably lead to the second phase of attack, where there is actual balls of trash. And I think if one of these hits you, you're going to take some damage. So we can sort of get an idea of the strategy here of the fights. Like the Trashbot wants to slow you down to be able to hit you, so you can't dodge the attack. Although it still seems like you're moving, like, way too fast. If you're supposed to be slowed down here, it seems like it's still way too fast. And this second GIF here, you can sort of see, like, what are these arrows that are pointing down? We don't actually get to see what that is, and I think the developers cropped that on purpose. Like I said, a lot of the ways that they phrase this stuff, and the way that they present these devblogs, it seems like they're trying to hype up players as much as possible. So I think that they might have cropped this GIF very specifically to show this stuff, but not show what it's pointing to. I don't actually know what it's pointing to. Yeah, maybe it's a loot drop, something that the trash balls left behind or something. It's kind of weird though. Why would there be arrows pointing to it? We've never really seen arrows like this, have we? The arrows probably show the location where the projectiles land. Yeah, but why? Why would they? Why would they ever do that? I mean, the farm bot, when it shoots a projectile, it doesn't spawn an arrow about where it's going to go, right? So it's a little bit weird. Maybe it's, like, when you say it like that, maybe it's something that the developers have for, to help themselves develop the fighting. And then it's not actually going to be in the main game. But then, like, why are we seeing it here in this GIF? Couldn't they just turn it off? It's a little bit weird. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, overall, I'm excited to see the Trashbot. The miner outfit. I think like any other outfit in the game, any other new outfit, I'm going to be super excited and happy to have new outfits. I saw there was, like, they were showing off, like, a glow bug outfit on Twitter one time. Like as a sneak peek. It kind of looked like a Power Ranger or something, and I'm super excited for that one. And they also showed off like some a walk outfit. I'm super excited for that one as well. But yeah, the miner outfit is going to be pretty much the same thing as any other outfit. Like the feedback that I have to give for any outfits is pretty much the same. And it's going to be, well, Yeah, it's the same. I'm trying to think about like how to actually phrase this. It's the same every time. I think it's a cool outfit. I think it's a good addition to the game. It's not necessarily bad in and of itself. The only thing that I can really say is that the game's outfits are very distinct from one another. So, and that's sometimes a good thing. So when you look at this outfit, like for example the hat is very distinctly a miner's hat. It's not going to be anything else except a miner's hat. The gloves might be more universal in that you can like mix and match it with any other outfits, and you might not be able to tell that they're supposed to be miner's gloves, right? But the hat is like very, very distinctly miner. And so then that's the only bit of feedback that I can give to Axolot here, is that they have yet to create an outfit that is more universal. Like just like a plain shirt that sort of applies to everything. A plain set of pants. I mean, they kind of have that with like I think it was like a golf tee and like jeans and stuff. But I think we need a little bit more of that, right? Keep these very distinct outfits coming. Like, we definitely love this stuff. But I think also include some like plain options in there as well. Also, if this is a light on the head, then why don't we see the ground lit up here? This is probably one of the biggest things for a miner outfit. If you actually, like, if you want people to be ridiculously excited about this outfit and everyone's rushing to try on this outfit, make the hat light up the ground. Like, make it an actual miner's hat. If it's just for aesthetics like this, it's going to be tossed aside very quickly. So if you actually gave the hat some function, I think that would actually like blow up this outfit like crazy. Instantly it's going to have value over the other outfits. So, definitely do that. All right. Challenge mode update. Durf, it's a targeting system. It's probably for targeting where the trash... Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're talking about the arrows that we see. Yeah. Well, I mean, how are we supposed to know that? It's a little bit weird. Like, why would we be able to see, as a player, we be able to see where the trash bot's going to throw its trash, right? If this is, like, just a debugging thing, I'm still a little bit confused why the developers even included it in the preview. It could have been just turned off. I'm a little bit weird, like, just asking questions about, why the arrows are even there. But I think challenge mode updates, they didn't really have much to say about it. Like, I think like before, like these images don't really show me what I'm even looking at. I really have no idea what I'm looking at here. Is it the yellow arms, like the yellow crane arms? Are these the new things that I'm supposed to be looking at? Because otherwise, it just looks like regular challenge mode to me. I don't recognize what I'm supposed to be looking at here. Yeah, I'm thinking it's just these that they're trying to show off, these arm things. Because I don't see anything, I don't recognize anything else new. Maybe this they're trying to show off that they have some more wedges. Like a 1x2, 1x3, 1x4. Something like that. The real information is here, where they're saying challenge mode's getting 10 new awesome challenges that they're including in the Master Mechanic Trials. So the official challenge pack from the developers, they're getting 10 new levels. And so you're probably going to be seeing all the YouTubers try that. Complete the final challenge to be rewarded with a very special outfit. I'm not sure about that, actually. I'm probably leaning on the side where that they should just give the outfit for free. If they're if they're putting an outfit option behind a requirement like this, then there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on how hard that challenge actually is. If the challenge is too difficult, mod makers are just going to push unlocking the outfit for free. Yeah, there's no way around it anyway. I think they just shouldn't bother with this. It's heading down a route that's like Rocket League, where you need like XP points and to, you know, successfully do certain things to have an item in the game. I think that's just adding frustration for no reason. I mean, it's content in the game that people are paying for, right? Just give it to them. Just give it to them right away. Huh? Durf, I know you're a developer, but it's very obvious you can see what is happening. What are you talking about? Then why would people play the challenge if there is no reward? That's a very good question. I think that's a very good question right here. Why would people play the challenge if there's no reward? This is a great question. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that you asked this. The reward is supposed to be challenge mode itself. You don't need an excuse for players to go into a game mode. The game mode itself is supposed to be fun just by itself, enough for people to rush in there and play it. You don't... Oh, it's like the dangling the keys in front of a baby all over again. You don't need to, you know, entice people that already have the interest. You don't need to do that. Look, I said it literally when I started reading the text that they're going to be adding 10 new awesome challenges to the Master Mechanic Trials, and you're probably going to see all the YouTubers play that just because it's that. Just because of this reason, right? The very special outfit is completely unnecessary. You're still going to get those YouTubers to play that just because it's 10 new awesome challenges in the Master Mechanic Trials. That's literally all that it took. You don't need more than that. I mean, if you really wanted challenge mode to be more and more popular, then you do things to make challenge mode more and more popular, not some outfit to be popular for the sake of challenge mode. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think, Whatever. Let's just move on. Bots in challenge mode builder. I think this is a great addition. Like a lot of the other things, I think they're great additions. I just have more to say about it usually. So what I have to say about this then is that I'm a little bit confused about why creative mode and survival mode has capsules, but then challenge mode is going to be having these bot spawners, which very obviously is a good thing because you can trigger it with logic, right? So you can design a challenge mode. This is another thing that I've actually mentioned in my live streams and stuff, that you should be able to create challenges that are like a wave of bots, right? So it spawns a wave of bots all of a sudden. You defeat all the bots, and if the challenge understands that, then it sends you the second wave of bots, right? And then, you know, you have to fight a certain amount of bots before the finish line unlocks for you or something like that. So just having something like this added to the game instantly gives the people that make challenges a lot more options to do stuff like that. And I think that's a very good thing. It just makes me wonder, what about capsules? Like again, I just gotta say that Axolot's design process seems very shallow. Like, they don't think things through a whole lot of the time. So if you were to go back in time, since before there were capsules added to the game, do you think that they would favor this spawner stuff instead? Like, if you were to just choose one or the other, this would be the winner because you can trigger it with logic, and you don't need a spud gun on some logic to open a capsule. I don't think there's much difference either way, but the ability here to spawn more and more bots from a single spawner definitely is valuable for challenge mode. I was surprised when I saw the devblog in the updates. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's difficult for me to be surprised because I've been playing with some of the mod stuff for years already, so having a camera-controlled seat, nothing new to me. Can't really be surprised about that. Having different sized wedges, nothing new to me. I've had it for years already. So I'm excited to see like some of the new areas that we can explore. I'm not excited for how redundant the upgrading system is going to become. Not excited for what is basically a level 2 of the bots that we already have. I am excited for Trashbot. I am excited for a new outfit. I'm excited for the challenge mode updates. And this is the game's built-in tutorial mode for how to actually build in the game. This was actually something... this was actually another thing that I suggested in a live stream way back when. That new players have like a very, very difficult time getting into the game, and survival mode, especially when it was released, yeah, similar to these dev blogs, it was like designed with the existing players in mind and not actually attracting new players that have never played the game before. So when you're thrust into survival mode without a tutorial, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to actually get into and learn how to build anything, because you're already like, you have to learn how the game works plus learning how survival mode works, all while you're trying to build your first thing to even play survival. So in-game tutorial is definitely necessary, 100% necessary. Axolot needs to start focusing on attracting new players to the game instead of appealing to the existing players. Wait. Let me rephrase that. Not instead of appealing to the existing players, but as well as. That's a very important distinction to make there. And I gotta say, like, we actually saw this before. They showed this as a preview, I think on a random tweet or a previous devblog. So they already showed this before. But the images that we're seeing now look much prettier. They look nice. It looks like a nice job that they did. It seems like that they got things to be very obvious. You know what I mean? That like step 1, step 2, pull out your connect tool. They did it all. They did it all exactly like they should, with an arrow pointing from connection dot to connection dot. Like, I think when I get to play around with the tutorial, I'll probably do a little check myself to see if it's foolproof. So if there's any sort of criticism that I can provide, I will. But so far, it looks like they did exactly what they needed to. So good, good job. Good job on that one. Cinematic tool. Durf, what if you can use the miner helmets to see where the arrows go? Huh? I don't know what that means. So anyway, the cinematic tool is a okay, hold on a second. That wasn't the game lagging. That was actually my GIF lagging here. So right here you can see, you know what? I'm just saying over and over again, it looks like Axolot has been watching a lot of the things that I've been doing and saying in Scrap Mechanic, because this reminds me of that video that I did. I think the video is titled Flop the Milkers Onto Me or something like that. I just put a bunch of walks into a glass cube and shake it around for a little bit, like, haha, milkshake. But yeah, they're basically doing the exact same thing, but with like easily 3 times as many ragdolls, and it's all haybots this time. So it seems like optimizations, they're saying that they are happy to say that the ragdoll simulation for knocked out characters has been greatly optimized, and we can see that in the GIF. Definitely a lot better than my video. My video didn't perform. The performance of the game was not that great in that video. So the only thing that I have to say about this section of the devblog is they say it's for knocked out characters that have been greatly optimized. But what about the bots that are just standing around? Does this mean that players can spawn in more bots in general, or does it just mean that we don't have to worry about when we knock out so many bots? Like, those are two different things, and they're not exactly clear here on what that means. Like, maybe it might mean more bots in general, but only because of the ragdoll improvements. I don't know. Durf, don't get is twisted. What? Oh, like, don't get this twisted? I love you. You're one of my favorite YouTubers, but sometimes you make it seem like you can do better. If you can, why not give a formal request to join their team? Oh, I can tell you right away, Axolot's not interested. I sent a recent email to Axolot to get an answer, something along those lines, and no, not even a reply. They're definitely not interested. If anything, they don't want me in their game at all. Durf, what if you can use the miner helmets to see where the arrows go? I don't know what that means. GWR Gaming, I have no idea what you're talking about. Use the miner helmets to see where the arrows go? You're talking about like this, right? Like these arrows up here? Or the arrows here? I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. Durf, I accidentally unsubbed. What? What? Oh my god, we're gonna ban you from my chat right now. What is this? Ban, hide user from channel, ban. How dare you? Anyway. This also makes no excuse for blueprints in a survival. A good setup for what you can do to make a button called "Make Survival Blueprint," and make it have the same step-by-step thing. Oh, yeah. That's actually a great point. So you can make like your own custom tutorial for how to build anything that you put on the workshop. Because the blueprint is there on the workshop, technically the tutorial is there too. So that's actually a good point to make. I wonder how that's going to work, or if that's even going to be a thing. I'm sure there's a little bit more to it, because like you can see, it involves like which blocks you have to build with and all kinds of things like that. So I don't know. I guess that's one of those things that we'll have to see when we get there. But I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea to allow people to create a tutorial, or to like use the tutorial feature in the game to build any blueprint in the game. That's actually a great way to do it. Yeah, because it'll teach people how to build. Wow. My brain right now. Hosterian. That's a great idea, because like you can teach people how to build double wishbone suspension without the person feeling overwhelmed that they have to learn something new. Or the same thing can be applied to logical creations, right? There can be an entire lesson plan teaching people how to build logic in scrap mechanic. So that's a really good idea. I just have no idea if Axolot's ever going to get close to doing that, though. So that's a thing. That's a thing. Durf, they know you know too much? What? I don't actually know what that means or what that's referring to or the context of that is, but let's go ahead and assume like all kinds of Illuminati conspiracy theories. So what? That's my answer. So what? So what if I know too much? Like, who cares? What's the problem with somebody knowing too much? It's still not going to take away the opportunity of me applying what I know for their sake. You know what I mean? It's even if I were to try to work for them, who cares that I know too much? I mean, I don't want to stay stuck on this point, but for them to make the assumption that somebody knowing too much is a problem, it's just an assumption. It's just an assumption they make. It's like they're living in their own imaginary world, thinking like, if this person knows this thing, that means they're gonna do this. Like, how do they know that? Who told them that? It's just assumptions that they're making about somebody knowing something. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But then again, when has Axolot ever actually made sense? So, Durf, I wonder why they don't just hire more people. 12 people for a game like this is just not enough. I mean, at this point, I stopped caring. Like, it's pretty clear they made their decision that they're not going to, so there's really no point in, like, kicking and screaming along the way. They're just not going to. They made their decision. I'm wondering if the devs have hired since the release of Early Access are people that already knew about or played the game before. I don't When do you think this update's going to be coming out? They mentioned that there's going to be an update coming out in May. It looks like that's going to be just some random update and not the actual release of Chapter 2. So it seems like there's going to be an update coming out in May, which is a couple months from now. And then afterwards, maybe sometime much later in 2022 or 2023, we'll actually get Chapter 2. That's what that's what it seems like. Oh, yeah, you were thinking about the double wishbone suspension tutorial. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it applies to everything. It's not just suspensions. It's not just logic. It literally applies to everything that anyone can ever build. Huh? Durf, it's a joke? What is the joke? Oh, are you talking about this? Are you talking about this hidden comment? What else are you talking about? Because, like, I didn't do this. This message is held for review just because you used a naughty word. Funny, though, that you guys can see that on my stream. So you guys could see everything like that on my stream now. But yeah, this, like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not moderating my own chat room right now. I don't even know what joke you're talking about. This joke? I mean, I can go ahead and show it for everyone. There you go. Just refrain from, like, using that kind of language if this is supposed to be a family-friendly stuff. Right? Like, there's no people think that they can go onto somebody's stream and, like, spam a bunch of naughty words or something to ruin the streamer's day or something like that. But really, all it's doing is just ruining your account. Like, YouTube is going to come at you and say, you're not following our community guidelines. No more chatting for you. On any stream, right? It doesn't have to be just mine. So, sorry, I have no idea what you're going on about. Durf has the same energy as me. Oh, okay, whatever. Let's move on to the actual DEVBLOG and what it's saying. Oh, geez. I wanted to actually check out, like, some of the comments afterwards, too, but I don't know. Do we have the time for that? I didn't know it's a bannable word. Oh, no. Don't think about it like that, because, yeah, there's always going to be more context involved. Like, you could be on a stream that is talking about nothing but PPs, and it could be in a medical context, and you could be chatting with a bunch of doctors, you know, all about the PP diseases that there are, or something like that. Like, the greater context is always going to be more important than a single word that's somehow gonna get you banned. Like, you never think about it in that way, because the greater context is always gonna be more important. That always matters a heck of a lot more. Like, yeah, you're trapping yourself. You're trapping yourself into thinking that you can't say certain words if you do that. You can say it, it's just that there's a very obvious difference between somebody that's spamming that word and somebody that's trying to have a serious statement with that word in it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, zoom in monkey? You know what I mean? Oh, that's so... I just made the point that there's a difference. Oh my god, you guys are just trolls. You guys are just trolling. So anyway, they say improved mod support. So this paragraph. Exciting new possibilities for Scrap Mechanic mod creators. This will let mod creators create their own game modes or even games within Scrap Mechanic. I'm a little bit not surprised because I'm already creating my own games with the number logic stuff. But this part where they're saying they can create their own game modes, this is, again, something else that I kind of suggested on my live streams when I kind of, like, fleetingly mentioned Roblox, because, like, Roblox basically does that too. So this is just sort of the things that I see as, like, inevitable for physics sandbox games. If, it's about time. That's my reaction. It's about time, Axelot. Like, finally. Finally, you're starting to embrace the energy of physics sandbox. I'm curious what this even means. Like, they just say create your own game modes, but they don't really say much about it. So they say use worlds from the world builder, create completely custom worlds with a script. That's very appealing ideas. But then this is where I would, give the warning that Axolot has overpromised and underdelivered in the past. So I can only take this with a grain of salt. I can't. There's no value in these statements. It's one of those things that we just have to see it when we get there. You know what I mean? It sounds very appealing. That's what I can say. It sounds amazing. We'll see if it actually is when we get there. Mod creators can also create their own characters and write scripts to turn them into hostile or friendly NPCs. So I'm not sure what this means exactly, but if it means that you can upload your own character models, like if, you know, for whatever reason you wanted to add an Enderman from Minecraft, literally from Minecraft into the game scrap mechanic and script it exactly how it was supposed to be, it seems like that's what they're saying here. I just wonder how much control we're actually going to have over what the NPCs actually do, right? Like, are they able to teleport around? Can we script that kind of thing? Because, like, we're supposed to be writing the scripts, right? So what's the capability of this script writing? Kind of matters a whole lot. Again, same thing. It looks very amazing, but we're going to have to see what it is when we get there. They're also opening up the possibility of adding unique outfits. Oh. So the thing that I said earlier then, where they need some more universally applicable outfits, I can take that back. Axolot, you do you for the outfits. I think if you're adding custom outfits for mod support, people will, you know, cover you for the things that you miss. People will make custom outfits all that they want. So then custom weapons and tools and more. Like, so far this entire paragraph just seems like they're gonna overpromise and then underdeliver. How much control do we have over the design of what weapons are? How much control do we have over what a tool does? You know what I mean? This sounds very appealing, and I imagine a lot of mod makers are celebrating, but I can almost guarantee that this is a huge scam. That this is a huge gimmick created by Axolot to make you think that they're doing some good things for the community. Yeah, that's my impression of it, because, like, it's literally as simple as, giving Axolot a Here's the thing. If Axolot actually takes suggestions from players, then they don't need to actually add mod support. They don't need to open up the possibility for adding outfits, weapons, tools, and more, because they can just do it themselves from the suggestions that they get. So the choice to open up the possibility for mod support to answer to all these things highly depends on what they actually open up, what the game itself is capable of doing for a tool or for a weapon or for an outfit. Like I tried to mention before, if this miner's hat actually shone a light outside of it, off the head, relative to the player, that would make the outfit super cool, right? So do custom outfits have that capability? They're not going to, especially because Axolot doesn't even think about these things. Like, they literally don't put any thought into the things that they do. So when they're when they're saying down here that they're promising that they're opening up the possibility of adding outfits and weapons and stuff, it's all going to be limited by the standard that they set with this mod support. Really, Axolot needs to get their own Discord to talk about this stuff, to talk about the outfits that players want, to talk about the weapons that people want, to talk about the tools that people want. That's going to be much more useful information for how Axolot actually updates their own game. And then leaving it up to mod makers to just give them a system of, like, here you go, you can, toss in whatever outfits you want, but that system is very, very limited. It's just going to do more harm than good. Like, it's going to pit people against each other. It's going to create such a low quality experience for everyone. But this last part's actually a good thing. This part where they say an updated modding API is actually going to be a good thing. But all that is just the beginning. Are you excited yet? No, because you're going to get even more excited. There will be a lot more to give mod creators a lot of creative freedom. This is such a BS line right here. You could have just cut out the sentence entirely. We will go more depth. Yeah, you just cut this entire last part out. We expect we expect our mod makers to take scrap mechanic to a completely new level once this feature is released. Yeah, this sounds like Axolot is depending on mod makers to develop their game for them. And that's a huge mistake. Like, minimum, this sounds like they're going down the route of Roblox, where, you know, people can create some cool stuff, like their own game modes and stuff. But they still need to talk to their own community about what that actually means. Otherwise, there are going to be some huge oversights that make this entire thing not worth it. The mod makers are not going to take scrap mechanic to a completely new level if they can't. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about it a little bit more on my upcoming scrap mechanic mods video, where I'm talking about the design of scalable wedges and things like that. Yeah. Because, like, if the game, developers are always going to have more access to what the game can do, and they can just program in what the game can do. A mod maker depends on the definitions that Axolot already created. So it's not possible for a mod maker to create something new that isn't capable anymore. But Axolot always has that capability. So mod makers taking scrap mechanic to a completely new level. Gosh, this is one of the worst lines in this dev blog, because it sounds like Axolot's really hoping for a lot without understanding how to actually make that happen. Just get a Discord, talk to your community about how that happens. My gosh. Like, how are mod makers supposed to know what you're doing? How are you supposed to know if you're doing something good for mod makers if you never talk to them? This is just get a Discord. Yeah, you know, I probably would have removed this entire paragraph, to be honest. No. But, like, overall, oh my gosh, there's a lot more. The way that they phrase things is that they're really trying to dangle those keys in front of the baby. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to put a lid on revealing those. Yeah, dude. Okay, no. You can't spoil a story if people don't know what the story even is. Like, there was not a chapter. We don't have a sense of story. Please don't even bother saying stuff like this. Just say that's it for now. Like, it's the same thing that I said about trying to, you know, tantalize us with a preview on Twitter. You don't have to do this. If this is only going to frustrate the people that already are interested. Like, you already have all of our interest, and then doing stuff like this makes people lose interest. Where's that comment that was just like, I don't know. Yeah, this is another one, but this is exactly the type of comment that I'm talking about, like, where you do something that's very minimal. Like, it doesn't actually reward anyone with anything. You just have to leave people to guess what it is. Like, this is just annoying. So all that they're doing is just like, by phrasing things like this, they're just losing the interest that they already have. You don't have to do that. You're trying so hard on all the wrong things. We know that a long wait can be frustrating. My gosh. Look, I don't want to bash on Axolot too much, but, like, damn. Worthy of your patience. Gosh, that's such the wrong way to, like, this is making so many assumptions about their own player base too. Man, oh man, that's weird for me to, like, wrap my head around. But anyway, this last GIF, it seems like that they are including something that is also in the mod pack number logic, which is the part spawner, where you can spawn in any parts from the game As long as you have a sensor that senses what that part is, it will, you know, spawn it just like the challenge boat stuff here spawns in bots. There's a part spawner in the mod pack that spawns in any part. So it seems like that's what they have here. Seems like they're doing it as part of the vanilla game, although we can't see what's actually spawning this stuff. But it seems something like that part spawner. And it's just spawning in circuit boards, toilet paper, corn, duck. Seems like that's about it. On repeat. Meh. Stay creative. So, like, overall, I think this is actually one of the better devblogs that they've done. Like, I want to reiterate here, after all the criticisms that I put Axolot through, I want to reiterate that this is a good devblog. They did a much better job than the previous devblogs. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really all that I have to say. Or is it the part spawner from the... You think they used a mod pack part for that last GIF? I mean, maybe. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Durf, how long until the rant end? Oh, no, I'm just... okay, so what you're calling a rant is just what I have to think about this paragraph right here. But that we sort of went through that for everything else too, right? Like, why didn't you call me ranting about the multi-component kit? Like, why didn't you say that was a rant? I think it's just a relative thing. You know, it's how you see Scrap Mechanic that's telling you that talking about mod support is a rant, but talking about the ragdoll physics is not a rant. I definitely ranted about everything in here. So, I guess we're done with the ranting now, though. But let's see what some people are saying about this. The parts actually despawn if you look closely. No, they don't seem to. Some of them seem to. But if you look at this sunshake down here, and the duck down here, it's still there. Some of them seem to disappear, and it might just be something that they did for the performance of this GIF or something, because this is a lot of loose parts. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it. By the way, new visual for deleting blocks. Is it? I don't know. Kind of looks the same to me. You're talking about like the semi-transparent area? Meh. Meh. That's meh. I'm not sure if that's how much I care about something like that. I guess that's something like a quality of life improvement. Definitely need some of those over time. Frustration increases and criticism increase when you don't engage with the community. Look at the difference in Scrap Mechanic. Satisfactory's community. Yeah. That's exactly, like, I 100% agree with that. Axolot just needs a Discord. Like, they just need... The thing is, you can't tell them about it either, right? Like, they think they already know, so who are you to educate them on something like that? You're not a game developer, blah, 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 right? So it's we're stuck. We're stuck with exactly what they are. So, Durf, do you think they will add capabilities to make audio for your mods? Oh, I mean, we briefly had that for the tone generator in the mod pack, so that people had like a complete range of an instrument to play, so that you can make more complex music in Scrap Mechanic and even convert from MIDI files. But yeah, they quickly took that away. So I don't know. I don't know anything about audio support for mods. Durf, I didn't know you liked the DEVBLOG. You're so critical it makes it seem like you hate everything. No, I'm gonna be honest with you, Tillin. Tillin? Is that your name? Tylin? Pirate? I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just you, man. That's just you and the way that you see the world. Maybe you're very... I don't want to start like calling people names or anything, but it seems like there are very sensitive people in the world that cannot observe any criticism about anything at all, ever. Usually I would say that, like, if you're very fond of the game's scrap mechanic, and then you see somebody criticizing that game, you're instantly going to associate that they don't like the game's scrap mechanic because you like the game's scrap mechanic and you're not criticizing it. So if somebody else is criticizing it, that must mean that they hate it. Deduct it, like logical deduction, reasoning. But like, no, that's completely just presumptions, right? Like, correlation does not equal causation. I love the game's scrap mechanic, and it's because of my love for the game's scrap mechanic that I bother to criticize it, because I want it to be the best that it can be. I know for a fact, like, you guys might have recognized my passion in my ranting. Like, I have a purpose in saying the things that I say. I'm not blindly throwing hate at Axolot or the game's scrap mechanic. It's because I want the game to be better. I want the game to be more entertaining. I want the game to not have problems. I want the community to be nice and welcoming to new players and not so hateful and, you know, like, there's so much drama and toxicity in the scrap mechanic community, and it's because of a lot of silly things like how Axolot decided to design things like mod support. Like, it's really silly. So unless somebody actually tries to point this stuff out, we're operating under the assumption here that Axolot is completely blind to those issues. So, yeah, like you said, or like somebody else said, like, if there's no actual communication, that situation is only going to get worse and worse and worse. It's not... I don't know. To put it simply, like, I if I didn't like scrap mechanic, I wouldn't be criticizing it. That's the only thing that I can really say. Like, imagine the effort that I'd have to put into faking this level of passion for a game. Why the heck would I bother complaining about, I don't know, like, pick another game that I never played before, like Minecraft. I never really play Minecraft. What can I even complain about? You know what I mean? What, like, I don't even know enough about the game Minecraft to complain about it or to suggest improvements for the game. But it's because of my stupid amount of hours put into this game and the amount of mods that I've made for this game that I have such an in-depth understanding about those things, right? So I can talk with Axolot about, hey, if you do this with mod support, it's gonna change it in this way, and your community's gonna respond in this way. And I have the ability to say that because of how much I've been involved with that. But if you've never made a mod before, how are you supposed to suggest an improvement for mod support? It's silly, right? What if we all send an email to them to make them make a Discord? I mean, you can try. You can definitely try, but I don't think that they're going to. They already made their decision pretty clear. I've been saying get a Discord for like over a year. They're not going to. Durf, what I mean by that? Wait. Let me see what you said previously. What you mean by what? Oh, you've been repeating that. Let me just read it then. When you put on the miner helmet, you can see where the arrows go when the boss throws trash at you. Why would you be able to see that just with the miner hat? Or, like, what does the miner hat have to do with that? What does the miner hat have to do with the trash bot? I mean, I understand what you're saying now, but I don't understand why that would be the design that Axolot went with. Or it's like saying, pull out the connect tool and then you can see the arrows. Like, why would Axolot make it that way? I mean, it could be the way that it is. I don't know. We'll have to see what those arrows are when we get to see what those arrows are. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I get critical, but you criticized everything. I'm probably wrong and sorry, but again, it seems like you hate everything. No. Not at all. I mean, I guess another way to explain it is that I could go out of my way to point out that you misspelled the word seems. You can say that that's criticizing stuff. So, like, are you thinking that I hate you now because I criticized the words that you use? Like, that's not it. And the point of pointing that out for you would be for you to realize that you've misspelled a word, but that's really not important most of the time, right? Like, I know exactly what you're saying to me, so there's no point on getting hung up over a small typo or something like that. You're gonna turn bald if you ever try. Yeah, I mean, my hair is pretty good still. Maybe they have my mentality. If somebody gives constructive criticism, they are wrong. I mean, Thailand, look up a thing called cognitive dissonance. I'll just type it in the chat. Cognitive dissonance. So if you look up that, you're going to know instantly, you're going to know exactly. I mean, if that's your attitude, your mentality, like, gosh, you don't know just how unhealthy that is. You're in a downward spiral of mental unhealth. Like, it's just very unhealthy for you to be living that way. So look up cognitive dissonance so that you can get an understanding of so you can get an understanding of, like, what that actually does to your psyche over time, right? You definitely don't want to just, slap on a label on things just saying, like, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Instead, question it. Say, like, why am I wrong? And worst case scenario, you're going to come out of that with hurt feelings, right? Best case scenario, the person was completely full of garbage and they have no foundation to stand on. So if you just ask the question, you're going to come out on top either way. Durf, you do realize that most of the stuff mentioned in the mod update has already been made possible. Example, FantMod adds 4 new custom bots and adds new custom tools. Yes and no. Like, that, yes, I do realize that, and there's already the possibility for mod makers to do even more amazing things, and they haven't yet. Like, I still have a list of ideas that I'm trying to get to, but there's still some other stuff getting in the way. But the point that I've made that Axolot, like, as developers, are always going to have much more capability than mod makers ever will, and that's just because mod makers are limited by what the game can even do. But Axolot's not limited by that, and they can add something new to the game by programming it in. Mod makers can't actually do that. They're still limited by what the game even lets them program. Do you understand what I'm saying there? So, as much as you want to say that FantMod and other mods do that, I'm going to have to disagree, because if my idea for a new custom tool is outside of the game's current capabilities, then that suggestion is only for Axolots to listen to. They have to take it as a player suggestion saying, please add this tool to the game, and not as a mod maker asking for mod support, right? I'm not looking for mod support to allow me to create my ideas when I'm suggesting something that's outside of the realm of mod support. I'm just looking for Axolot to do it themselves, just like any other player suggestion. So the conversation about mod support is that's why I'm so frustrated by it. It's like, they just might as well have not said it. It would have been a lot easier. No, I hope you understand what I'm talking about, though, that a developer's capability is always going to be far, like, infinitely outside of the realm of mod support, and mod makers are very, very limited in this tiny little box of what mod support allows them to do. So it doesn't matter how much you say, oh, there's new tools, there's new custom bots and stuff. Those bots are limited by what the game already allows them to do. If my idea is something completely different, the answer is just, nope, mod support can't do it. So the only option is just Durf, when's this gonna end? Dude, guys, what is that? What is up with you? What, I mean, why are you still here if you're asking when the end is? No. Let's go to let's go and see on Twitter what some people were saying about the DEVBLOG. And go from there. Face reveal when? Oh, I don't know. A million subs? A million billion? A million billion billion billion? A million billion zillion? No. I gotta, I mean, first of all, I don't have nearly enough likes on this stream to... Wait, IQ reveal when? I think I did do, wait, did I actually do a human benchmark test video? Maybe I'll, or, you know, live streams in time? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. See you later, DH Labs Gaming. So yeah, we already went through the DEVBLOG. If you guys are, you know, done being interested in that or whatever, we're just gonna be looking at the comments and other things that people say for the rest of the stream, and that's it. Nah, Hosterian. Like, this is the thing that makes me think that you guys are just trolling in my chat. Like, just because you see it as a rant, I definitely don't feel like it is. So, you know, this is giving me the impression that you guys are desperately trying to perpetuate the idea that I rant about things. That's, no, you're coming out looking like the troll in that one. I mean, if you really did want me to talk about something, you'd have a lot more success just saying that directly to me. Like, I personally don't want you to talk about this, Durf. Stop talking about it. Right? But, like, this seems like a roundabout method to try to make me feel like I should stop talking about something. And that just makes you seem like a troll. So, I'm sorry, Hosterian. It's just... your perspective is very weird. Anyway, this DEVBLOG is a convoluted mess. I tell you, the communication out of this company is straight trash. I'm not certain what the hell is up with you guys. But it's not appealing at all. You are losing players You know, this is actually true in a lot of ways. Cope? Oh, what? Vajani, are you being a fan? Oh my gosh. This, I'm telling you, it's such a toxic... Okay, what does he actually say, though? I mean, yeah, he's making a point. Like, Vajdanny is coming in here like a fanboy. So, really not making any point, but just saying something like this, like... Gosh. I mean, I'm sure Vajdanny thinks that they're doing something funny, right? Like, yeah, like Cope, Lamau. It's definitely something that a lot of people are very easily going to resonate with. I'm surprised it doesn't have any likes. Even this one, I'm surprised it doesn't have any likes. Because, like, it's a very memey... meme. Very, very, I don't know, Zoomer way of communicating, but... Yeah, like the guy says, like, it literally gets nothing done. Gosh, if anything, this, you know, tweets like this is only making the community worse and worse. Like I'm saying, like, okay, Twitter is a toxic platform just on its own, but I've also said that the scrap mechanic community is pretty toxic, and it's because of things like this. It's because of a back and forth like this that literally gets nothing done, and it's just off-putting for everyone in general. So the thing that was said originally, losing players fast, wait, they actually said loosing, like loosening a knot. Anyway. But the thing that they said, that they're losing players fast, is actually true. Like, that's actually a true statement. So and the responses didn't make it any better. Like, my gosh, Twitter is probably not the platform to be showcasing DEVBLOGs. Do we need... Yeah, am I the only one thinking about U-joints? Aha! Lord Payne with a big brain. It's the thing that I said, like, the camera control seat is basically a a 2-axis bearing, a ball bearing with 2 attachment points. Every scrap mechanic dreams about U-joints and scrap mechanic. Please make this dream come true. So yeah, you just shrink down the seat to be a 1x1 part, and that's either loosey-goosey or that you can attach 2 different engines to do 2 different rotations to it or something like that. Apparently our old survival worlds will still work. That's good. Oh, the tape bots are very strong against the player, yeah. Heh. So that's funny. Like, I can't tell if this guy doesn't care about anything, does he? Because, like, he seems to be just on Twitter. First of all, everything that he puts is in quotations. Who is he quoting? If not himself. But second of all, he wasn't a fanboy before, but, like, now he does look like a fanboy. I don't know. That's a little bit weird. But overall, like, they're, aside from the the flamboyant nature of how they communicate, they are making valid points. So let's see what they said then, if they replied. No, they didn't even reply. Yeah, this person's making a valid point too. Like, sometimes you can be overrun with tape bots, and 2 shots is definitely a little bit too little. So you could make the argument then that lower the damage of tape bots, but then put more of them in. Would that make the game better or worse? I definitely agree with like everyone. Yeah, I definitely agree with like everyone mentioning stuff on these points. That, well, it's the same thing that I've been saying before. Axolot could definitely put a little bit more thought into how they're designing things. It seems a little bit shallow. Thanks for the awesome previews. Is there any work being done on the issue with close moving surfaces getting stuck on each other and suddenly becoming unstuck? When a block is placed on the creation, it tends to interfere, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Things getting stuck on each other, it's not just an issue of friction. It has to do with the physics engine of the game. And then things becoming unstuck when a block is placed on a creation, like all of a sudden snapping out of place. That's also been an issue. YouTuber fanboy. I kind of didn't even realize I was reading Scrapman's reply there. This might be it. This person here might actually be correct about why that's an issue. Especially with the doors. Yep. How annoying is it that you build a car and then you try to open the door of your own car and it opens up like 2 degrees and then just gets stuck. Like, you have to pull out your paint tool and paint your own door so that it snaps open. It's very weird. Very weird. Okay, nobody was actually saying anything. I guess that's the fate of a YouTuber's tweets. You just get a lot of people saying, "You're one of my favorite YouTubers." How about releasing the crap we were told about? Oh man, this is such a fanboy reply here. Holy moly. Like, again, this is technically a valid point. Like, the devs have definitely overpromised in the past and underdelivered. But this, though, oh my gosh. How about you go and develop the game yourself whilst having a balance between work and life? Oh, man. I know the fanboys trying to rush to Axolot's defense. By the way, if you don't remember, I'm calling fanboys because it's weird how everyone on the Twitter here, and even the people that are replying these things like this, they're fans of the game's scrap mechanic. But then this person coming to rush to Axolot's rescue. Why is this person more of a fan of Axolot Games, the developers, instead of the game that he's supposed to be playing? That's a very strange mentality to realize. Like, why does he... It just makes me think that this is one of Axolot's developers in one of their alternate accounts or something. Like, this is why I say these are just fanboys. It's very weird. It's weird to have this attitude. So this is either a direct result of how toxic the Twitter platform is, or Axolot fanboy. And yeah, this is a valid point. Development of the game is their work, dude. But like, just to touch up on that, like, it should be, if you're a developer developing a game, and that game and the creation of that game is not your passion in life, then you're not going to be all in. You're just going to come out with a terrible product, right? It has to be your passion. I swear, this is just all fanboys. Like, they already have your money. Remember, we already saw that earlier. That's the risk you take. Oh my god. And then saying that the game is in early access so kindly. That's so kindly, STFU. Oh, man. What? What? Oh my god. This is so far out of place. What the heck, dude? So, okay, like, yes, they should release the updates so that it gets shit on more and for being unfinished and buggy and bad. Says who? Says who? Who is going to do that? Like, especially if the game is exactly what people want, why would people bother with this? I mean, yeah, I think statistically speaking, every update that Axolot releases is going to have a small percentage of people that will say some criticism about it, or even some negative thing about it. Like, it's the internet. Haters going to hate. Right? So statistically speaking, there's going to be a percent greater than 0 for every release. But I think this is completely aside from the point of the things that were promised in DEVBLOG 22, right? If the developer, my tongue, if the developers bother to show something in a devblog and then never talk about it or show it ever again, it gives the vibe that the game's scrap mechanic is basically abandonware. Like, the developers don't care. Eventually, they're just gonna leave it and never touch it ever again. And that's it. And like, tweets like this kind of make that outcome more and more obvious. Like, I'm telling you, the Twitter platform itself is just toxic, but like, fanboys are making it so much worse for Axolot. Like, they have to stop. They have to stop. Just release the Yep. Like, this is again another very valid point. Nobody wants to wait another 2 years. Stuff like wedges are essential to the game. Yep. And should be updated immediately. Yep. If you want this game to succeed, then please add content. Okay, this is something that I would replace with, if they want the game to succeed, more regular updates, smaller updates placed closer together. They don't actually have to, like, they don't have to rush through anything, and the amount of content that they're piling up for this big Chapter 2 update could be spread out, you know, throughout a couple of months or something. And I think that would do a lot, like, that would do a lot towards actually getting their community hyped, instead of having to try so hard about, like, can you guess what this is? Like, no. The solution is literally just spreading it out a little bit more. Yeah, you did it before, and you did it before survival, and it worked perfectly. Yes, exactly this. Axolot seems to have forgotten before survival mode. Axolot really seems to be stuck. This is funny, and now the quotes actually are funnier. I think they should make the state as beta, so we can test and review things as they get added. Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad suggestion. We gotta get out alpha first. Yeah, the quotes make it so much funnier. Yeah. No, I think that was obvious. The underground locations were not actually rendered in the game. That's part of the artwork. I mean, it's like saying that the miner's outfit was like hand drawn. I don't think that's a big deal. So what I'm trying to say is that Axolot did almost no work during this span of 3 months. I don't know. I don't know about that. I can't possibly know the amount of work that Axolot put into that. The thing that I can know, though, is Axolot seems to be putting in a little bit too much effort in all the wrong places. Like I've been saying this entire stream, they can, it's a little bit shallow. Maybe they could just put a little bit more thought into it. But there's no Discord, right? So there's no chance for me to actually explain to Axolot what that means, what it means to actually think things through a little bit more, or to actually try to design something to be beautiful in the way that it plays out, and not just so there's a thing with story writing, and I think it's just people call it and then. So if a kid is trying to write a story, they're probably just gonna say the main character of the story did this, and then it did this, and then he did this, and then he met this other person, and then this, and then this happened. So in terms of story writing and the design of a story, Axolot seems to be a lot like that, especially with the way that they like to publish chapters. So it really just seems like Axolot needs to have put in a little bit more thought and effort into the actual design of what they're presenting. Yeah, it's difficult to actually explain what that means in the middle of a live stream, and yet again I find myself saying, Axolot, just get a Discord so we can talk about that. So then you will know what it means, the things that I'm talking about on stream. Come on. It's frustrating to see Axolot absolutely refute. What is this? I'm telling you, Twitter and the Scrap Mechanic fanboys are so toxic. The thing is, this guy has been all over the place, right? I can't exactly tell if he's a fanboy or not, but they're raising some pretty good points. The valid criticisms here. This, though, is definitely 100% a fanboy. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Durf, the dev count for a Scrap Mechanic is not like Portal 1 and 2 devs with 14 plus people working on the game, but Portal 1 and 2 has ending and end credits, but Scrap Mechanic doesn't have end credits. Oh, yeah, no. This is just because, Scrap Mechanic I don't think is ever going to have ending credits because of chapters, right? Axolot wants to release chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, 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 blah. Probably for the, indefinitely. They're probably going to push that as much as they possibly can. If they can reach chapter 69, they will. And why would they do that? Because they're milking early access on the Steam store as much as they can. It seems to be the way that Axolot does things, the way that they release a game. It seems like that they I don't know, it just seems like that they're trying to take as long as possible so that they can keep on publishing another chapter, and then that's a big boom in their sales. So they're just oh, you know what? I think it's time for another chapter so that they can get another paycheck. But I completely disagree with that philosophy of development, and I think that Axolot should have made their game fully capable from the start. Then they can release survival mode with all of the chapters, right? Then they can do it, at their own pace, any pace that they want to. Even 10 years later down the road, they can still release that chapter 69. But if the game was doing everything that people wanted it to do from day one, then everyone would be celebrating every chapter that Axolot releases since it's developer-made content. But because the game's not answering to what players want, that's always going to be a concern every time Axolot releases anything. So that's always going to get in the way of people making the most of those chapters being released. Anyway, I think because of the development philosophy that Axolot seems to follow, it seems to be very chapter-based, so I predict there's never going to be ending credits in Scrap Mechanic. Never. Never, never, never. We're never going to see the last chapter. Okay, wait. Why is this hidden? Thailand, Durf, the way that you think, you seem like you have 130 IQ higher than me, but not the smallest. What? I'm sorry. Was this supposed to say the word peepee at the end of this sentence? Not the smallest peepee? I mean, maybe I have the smallest peepee here. I don't know. It's a little known fact that if you're subscribed to this channel, you have a very big peepee. So if everyone here is a subscriber, then chances are I have the smallest peepee. So no. I know what you're looking for, Thailand. I know what you're looking for. You're looking for me to explain for you that if you're talking about IQ like this, chances are you're actually a dummy. Dumb. Because IQ is... Oh, message retracted. That's funny. No. But like IQ is like supposed to be a universal measurement, and it's very outdated. So if you go back like 100 years or so, people would have actually taken it seriously as an intelligence quotient, whatever the term actually is. So the idea is that you can measure any one human in all aspects in life, and they're going to come out with a single number that sort of measures their overall competence on something, or anything for that matter. So the idea being that if you have a super high IQ, you could literally do anything in the world. But that's just not true. That's absolutely not true. In the same way that Stephen Hawking's, somebody that's famously smart, intelligent, or whatever, he's not an Olympic athlete, right? So there's definitely different forms of intelligence, and how you use your body to actually do athletics is another form of intelligence. So there's actually a new test. I think it's called the Weschler scale for intelligence, and there's it's been sort of like a redesigned IQ test over the years. So I think they're already at like version 5 or 6 or something. I don't know. But the point is that they are measuring in a person's quote unquote IQ in very specific categories. So if you have very good problem solving skills, that can be measured with a universal test, and it can technically apply to everything in life. It'll also measure your speed at which you can actually process new information, or if you can decrypt some stuff, right? And it's going to measure your speed at how well you're actually doing that. And that applies more universally in life than just a single number that makes assumptions about all of that, right? So the old IQ test, where it's just a single number, that's outdated and inaccurate, because it doesn't actually measure if somebody's good at one thing but bad at another. So it's going to just sort of take the average of that and give you a false number. But if you take the updated IQ test, like the actual intelligence scale, then you're going to get 4 different readings, I think. It's like 4 different numbers, and you can sort of see what you're best at and what you're not best at. The game technically isn't done yet. We might have end credits when we leave the planet when that happens. Oh, for a second there, I interpreted this as like human civilization is gonna progress thousands of years in the time that Scrap Mechanic finishes its development. Like, that's a really, really long time. But no. I understand what you mean. You meant that the survival world. We're gonna repair our spaceship and leave the world in the story. Wait, is that what you meant? My bet is when we get to chapter 150. Oh, that's great. Yeah, don't worry. The game gets good after chapter 230. Oh, that's funny. I know, right? They need a community manager. They need an official Discord and a community manager to be the face of Axolot Games, because, I tried talking to the game director of Axolot, Casper. Nobody wants to talk to the butthole of Axolot. You need a face to represent Axolot. You don't need somebody stinky. Is Scrap Mechanic gonna come on console? Blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. This is some art, some nice artwork. What if there was like a slime outfit? You can already cover yourself in the slime, but that functions like a Velcro suit and lets you stick to things. You know, that, that actually reminds me. That actually reminds me of something completely... Alright, so Axolot, if you're watching this, one feature to add to the game would be ragdoll on command. Like if you're just running around in survival world and you press a button, you can willingly ragdoll yourself. So this would actually be super fun with an idea like this, where you can have a sticky suit, right? So you're running around in some parkour course or something, and you gotta jump and ragdoll yourself into a wall so that you can be transported to another area of the course. If you miss your target, you fall down or something like that, right? Like there's all kinds of ways that you can use manual ragdoll. There's all kinds of things that you can do with it. So that's my suggestion for Axolot in this video. Implement a way for me to force myself into ragdoll by choice. And if I keep on pressing it, I never get up. You know what I mean? Something like that. Very cool DEVBLOG. Fascinated to see what effectively tier 2 containers and refine... Yeah. You like that? Wait, what? You like that? Turret seat seems like a total game changer. I mean, yeah. Technically, it's all some pretty good stuff. Will you ever add different weathers, like rain or thunderstorms? Oh, my stomach is acting up. I haven't really eaten anything all day. But yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've definitely made rain mod and snow mod. Gosh. I mean, head on over to that second channel that I said, youtube.com/scrapmechanicmods. That channel already has some old mod videos. Not all of them. As a matter of fact, I think all of the mod videos on there are a little bit outdated because the game updated since then, but if you check it out, I have a night mod video on there. I have a day-night cycle mod. I have a winter mod. I think because it's really, really old, the apocalypse video is on my main channel. But yeah, I've definitely done all kinds of different weathers as mods before. It's just the game keeps on changing. It's not really worth putting in the effort. So many cool things. Yep. Tutorial looks perfect. Yep. Huh? Oh. Oh? Yeah, I'm not sure what some of these people are talking about. Yeah, so okay, something like this I think is worth pointing out, that if Axolot actually spread out their updates into smaller updates more frequently, people wouldn't even be saying this. Like this is a great representation of the frustration that people feel for having to wait too long. So new players are not going to care because the game's not being updated. Existing players are frustrated like this. Like, they're just absolutely frustrated. Like, oh my gosh, when is it? Right? So they wouldn't even be asking this question if it's been regular updates every few months or something. Even if it was once a month and it's just something tiny, nobody's ever going to ask this ever again. Nobody's going to be feeling this frustrated ever again because they're just going to wait 30 days for the next one. You know what I mean? So they got to rethink their release strategy for updates. Yes, this is going to be a great update. Yeah. Like, a lot of it, like I said, this is probably one of the best DEVBLOGs that they've ever released. It doesn't take away any of the valid points that people have to make, though. Like, it's a great dev blog is just as valid of a point as some of the criticisms that people are asking for. Scalable wedges. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if Axolot really figured that one out. Apparently, in the developer Q&A, they said they were like 50% done. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. Maybe they're like 50% done of what the game is capable, like the game engine and the game physics and optimizations and things like that. But if they're 50% done with the story already, then this is such a lackluster story. Like, my gosh, losing all interest in survival mode if they're already halfway done. Like, what's the story? Oh. No. The funny thing is, consoles will be able to play games like Scrap Mechanic long before 2055, and not because of any official support from Axolot, just because the console can. Like, I'm pretty sure you can already browse the internet with your consoles. I'm pretty sure you can already do all kinds of things. There's ways that you can hack your console to just basically be a PC, so before 2055, it's already going to happen, and not because of Axolot. All right, well, I think, all right, well, I think Twitter doesn't really offer a whole lot. Yeah, some of the first tweets that I saw were just, like, really toxic, but some of them made some very valid points. I hope that Axolot actually reads all of the feedback that they get and takes it seriously, because, like, my gosh, it's on repeats now, right? Like, people are starting to say the same things over and over year after year, and that's just pushing people away. Like, you gotta listen to us, Axolot. You gotta listen. So, Steam, what are people saying on Steam? Will you return to the Scrap Mechanic mods, Durf? Yeah, Ethan, so everybody go to that channel right now. I'm just gonna type it in chat. Okay, so everybody can go to that channel right now and click subscribe. It's a little bit of an old channel, or like, it's my second channel, okay? It's my second channel. It's not very active, though, so there's probably going to be very few videos on there. So if you click subscribe and click the notification bell, you're not going to be, flooding your inbox with a whole lot of videos. But every now and then, like, I'm working on a video right now for that channel to let you guys in on some amazing updates and what the future plans are for the channel and all kinds of other things regarding Scrap Mechanic mods. So I am still working on the channel. It's just that for the past couple of years or whatever, there's just been a lot going on. I mean, 2020 just by itself was enough to take that down, but there's also like other stuff with the game's mod support and the modding community having drama and stuff like that. So blah. But anyway, we're finally gonna get back into it. So yeah, on that channel, you should see a new video within the next few days. It's gonna be big. There's gonna be some big stuff talking about in that video. Durf, what would you think of a crane bot? I would think that a crane bot is literally made up of, let's go back for a second. I would think that a crane bot is literally made up of 4 players who are operating these seats. And the attachment point is where you attach the second seat. And the attachment point on the second seat is where you attach the third seat. And the attachment point on the third seat is where you attach the fourth seat. So with 4 of these seats together, can you attach them to each other, like make a loop? What happens if you make a loop out of them? See, I'm already thinking about how to break the game with this new part. But anyway, I think that's what a crane would be, is if you attached a second seat from the bottom right here onto this attachment point right here. And then if you operate them together, you can be a snake cooperatively operating a snake body. That's my first thought about that's my first thought of, from this prompt here. What do I think about a crane bot? Oh, you mean like a farm bot? Yeah. It makes me wonder what happened to the like the scrap world. Like there was supposed to be some other terrains and stuff, and we saw a cool picture of like this apocalyptic scene with huge piles of trash and like a trash, not a trash bot, but like it was a plow, a machine that just had like a plow in the front. So yeah, I would think that a crane bot would probably be a part of that world or something like that. Yeah, on the warehouses. Yeah, on the sides of the warehouses. Yep. When's chapter 69 420? Yeah, you knew somebody was going to make that joke. I hope they had the ability to use the prefab turret. Or you make your own turret with a swivel piece. Yeah, that's exactly how the number logic stuff sort of already works. But it would be really cool if we had like a ball joint in the game. Yep. See, the cool parts... See, okay, I'm not trying to bash on Axolot's design here anymore, but the cool parts of the way that I designed the mod pack parts to be like extremely modular as individual parts is that you can build your own design solutions like this. So you could build a camera-controlled seat like this if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You don't have to do that with the mod pack number logic. You can actually create anything else that you wanted to, like a self-driving car or an automated turret system that functions on its own without it having to be operated by a dwarf in a seat. So the design of the mod pack number logic stuff, in my opinion, fits a lot better with the design of what Scrap Mechanic actually is. A game where you're a mechanic, an engineer, building your solutions to problems. And I think the mod pack number logic stuff does that as universally as possible. Whereas this is a lot more of like an all-in-one solution. It's only a seat. It's only ever going to be a seat. So why was I even talking about that again? To make... Yeah, because you were saying that you can just make your own turret. Exactly. So really, all that we need from this devblog is just a ball bearing. That's literally the only thing that we need, and the rest can be taken care of number logic stuff. Like, you could build a seat on this stuff. I mean, I could just build this right now, right? Like, I could literally launch Scrap Mechanic right now and build this with number logic. You just need a pivot point on the side here so that the entire thing can... oh, wait, yeah, you need a pivot point down there and then one on the side. That's it. Well, anyway. So the things that people are saying on Steam, there's 10 pages of comments. Let's start at the back, because those are the first comments. Oh my god, are you kidding me? The first... like, what? Is this sorted by date or what? Killing it as always. Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. They're killing it in the good sense. All we need is a vanilla map. We want to see where we're going and the landscape of our world. Oh, they're talking about like an overview of the entire world. A map that you pull out of your pocket. Yeah. They want one like in the other games. Yep, that makes sense. Huh? Wait, what? I'm a little bit confused by this one, because the survival update was a huge flop. Like, the challenge mode update was a lot better than the survival update. And it's because of things that we already said about, like, there was no tutorial to help new players actually get into the game. Where's the tutorial? There it is. So, like, with something like this in the game, put into survival mode before a big release, that would have done a lot better for the release of survival mode. But because there wasn't anything like this, and Axolot dumped in a ton of money into advertising, it was just a huge waste of time. Huge waste of time and money. You needed the experience to be, like, to carry new players into the game. And that just wasn't there. So, like, how this person is saying that the best update was survival update, it's probably because they're already an experienced scrap mechanic player. And they don't really, they're not really seeing how new players just weren't able to get into the game. It was just weird how, like, it was the game was closed off to anyone new. So, I mean, I can see where they're coming from, but I would still say that other updates were a lot better for the game as a whole. Definitely not the survival update. Oh my god, some of the toxicity. Yeah, so isn't this exactly what we were talking about? So many of these people are requesting features, and this person just thinks, just build it yourself. Isn't that exactly the attitude that I've had about the beacon and this turret seat? Like, I mean, I'm coming at it with a bias here because I'm the guy that designed the mod pack number logic stuff, right? But, like, the way that I see it, you should be playing the game like this. You should be able to just build it yourself. Lazy? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just a, 10-year-old child that doesn't want to put in the effort to actually build that complicated stuff. So an all-in-one solution is definitely good for children, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that would find that just annoying. The mod support is very exciting, yep, but there was no gifts to show, and so we're just going to have to take their word on it, which is a whole lot of over-promising and then hopefully not under-delivering. I'm confused. Wait, so these are the newest comments here? So let's go back to page 1 then. I want to see the oldest comments. The first person to comment was La Person de Banano Split. Banono. Were there's people getting Steam awards for these comments? They made a component. Yep. Yeah, this person gets it. Whoa. That was the comment. Okay, that was the comment. It was way over here. It was one of the first comments. Wow, and it got all the Steam awards. Dude, Axolot. This should be like a huge tell for you. Like, my gosh, wake up to how your community feels. Literally, there's so many comments that are saying, wow, I'm so hyped, and there's no Steam awards. This one gets a Steam award, and I was surprised that it even did. This one, though, for some reason, I'm not surprised that it has this many Steam awards. Even though this one's like a clown or whatever, it's still just getting a ton of Steam awards. Like, so many people resonate with this. You need to wake up, Axolot. You need to wake up a little bit. Oh, this is funny. This is a funny fanboy. I mean, rush into Axolot's defense here. The thing is, so what if they are a kid? They got more Steam awards than you. No, I'm just saying, like, so what if they are a kid? Kids are definitely going to feel this way too. Like, this is ageism. You know, what does this say? I don't know what this says. Let me pop it into a translator super quick. I already thought they were dead. Cool update. Okay. Basically the same thing as a lot of other people. They thought that the game was taking way too long to update. People are frustrated. This guy thinks the game was already dead. But the dev blog was cool. Definitely showing off a lot of cool stuff. One of the best dev blogs. Yeah, I'm basically just repeating myself at that point, and I think a lot of people here... How stupid do I sound? to say that I think that a lot of people in the scrap mechanic community are actually seeing the exact same thing from this dev blog. Because, like, there's things like this happening, but, like, no, these people actually see eye to eye. It's just that this person wants to feel for Axolotls the people, and this person here wants to feel for Scrap Mechanic the game. So, like, everyone's a fan of the game Scrap Mechanic. It's just weird how some people are weirdly emotional about, like, the thing. I'm so confused by this, because, like, if the game was not dead, why would somebody react to it at all? So it's only because this person is worried about the game actually being dead, like this actually being a true statement, that they feel that they need to say something about it. Like, no, it's not a dead game. You're a dead game. Like, it's just so... amazing. Yeah, the dev blog is pretty good. Wow, dude, wow. Why do you even have to do this? I mean, this blows my mind, because, like, couldn't anyone else also reply to this guy's first comment saying the exact same thing? Like, just because he used the word dweebers. What if somebody else on the internet took offense to that and asked them to leave? Like, this is such a weird... Man, oh man. The Twitter platform is not for me, and the Steam platform is definitely not for me either. These platforms are not for me. I'm not the type of this is so... whatever. I think we're pretty much done here. Yeah. No, you're a dead game. I mean, that's definitely, like, that's exactly the attitude that you see here, right? Whoever gave this an award, I will find you and I will make empty threats. I mean, come on. Okay, they're trolling on purpose. They're being a funny guy. Very cool. Wow. Wow, that's actually kind of a sad... Did I miss that? I completely missed that. But that's actually kind of a sad and true statement. Like I've said, that the way that Axolot's doing things, it's like very off-putting for new players. So new players aren't really joining in, and the way that they're doing things with the dev blogs especially, it frustrates the existing players. So this is kind of a sad truth right here. Except that this person de Bainono split. I have a hard time actually saying this fluently, but anyway. This is a sad truth, because this person, like, sounds like they came in right around DevBlog 22, and I've been around since, like, the very, very early days, like DevBlog 4, like, very, very early. So it's kind of sad for me to witness somebody come into the game, get so frustrated with the dev blogs that they're leaving again. Like, this is basically what somebody says right before they're done with the game. It was nice, I hope we can do that again. Except that we're not, because DevBlog 23, 24, 25, it's all the same frustration. So it's sad for me to see that this guy, like, this person supposedly thought that, happy times in DevBlog 22, probably because they were one of the new players at the time. And then they slowly wake up to how things actually are. Beheh. This is... Yeah, but I mean, Lord Payne had the big brain where they were saying that it could just be a ball bearing. I mean, so many people with a big brain already pointed that out. I think everybody can see the obvious things. Like, I didn't really need to make a devblog review video, did I? Everybody already sees it in one way or another. So I don't think I really pointed out anything new, did I? There you go. See, it's exactly right there. It's like, literally the thing that we were talking about right there. This guy, oh my god. All right. I think we're done here. Another dead game comment. Look on Twitter, it's not abandoned. Don't look on Twitter. Don't look on Twitter. Stay away from that platform. My God, it couldn't be any more like, the things you get on here are somewhat toxic, but Twitter is a heck of a lot worse. You get people like chasing after you, replying to everything that you ever say in your life, just to, I actually went, where is it? Is it one of these guys? I don't know. It's not really important, but I saw one of the profiles. Like I looked into it before this stream, and one of the people that was like rushing to Axolot's defense was actually an artist. I'm not sure if they're even a fanboy, but the artist portion of their brain, their psyche, was just like, oh, I have to protect other artists. I have to protect someone's artwork because I want that for myself. So a lot of the toxicity is like completely not like it has no actual foundation to stand on, and it's just because people are very emotional. And they get emotional even if you're not talking about them. Even if you're talking about something else entirely, it's still applied to that artist mentality that they have to protect someone's art. Oh, it's just ridiculous. June 2022. Yeah, got him. All right. If you want to tell Axolot about how the community feels, a good solution would be to do it through Scrapman, because whenever there's a new update, they only fix it after Scrapman comes across the bug. No, that's not true. Like, as much as you might think that, Scrapman actually has nothing to do with it. That's just the way that it's been with Axolot for years at this point, where Axolot has to release something, get feedback from the community in general, and then realize their mistakes, and then try to implement a fix. I've always, like, you've probably heard, I don't know if you've been here since the start of the stream, Rafali25, but Rafael25, I don't know. But I've been saying that Axolot just needs to get a Discord to help prevent some of those problems, because it's been happening way too much. And I've also said that if you look at everything that Axolot's listing in this specific DEVBLOG, I'm pretty sure... Okay, how many things are there? 1, the seat. 2, the Sawbot and the wedges. 3, the underground places. 4, component kit. 5, this stuff. 6, trashbot. 7, outfit. 8, challenge mode. 8-ish. 9-ish. The tutorial. 10. 11. And that's about it. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of the 11 stuff shown in this devblog, I can directly trace to one of my own live streams. Feedback that I've been saying in my live streams and videos about the game over the years. So this devblog, maybe that's why I think this devblog's actually good, because it finally feels like Axolot's listened to a lot of the things that I've been saying over the years, but that's definitely also the same reason why I feel like Scrapman has nothing to do with it. It's it's weird that Scrapman would be... It's weird that Axolot wouldn't already know that, and that they would rely on Scrapman to give feedback through his videos. You know what I mean? I think just the same thing that I've been saying. Axolot can just get a Discord, and they can have a Discord community, and then they're going to get a lot more useful information from many sources besides just Scrapman. Gosh, if it is the case, though, like, if it is the case that it's only coming from Scrapman, then Scrapman, what are you doing? You need to explain things a little bit better, because clearly Axolot doesn't get it. It comes down to the same thing. Axolot, just get a Discord so you can have people explain the fix for you. Oh, my tummy rumbling. I'm getting kind of hungry. What? The idea is not to tell them that we need a Discord? Huh? But Scrapman says it to have more impact. No. I'm sorry, Raphael? I'm sorry, that's just incorrect. That's simply incorrect. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to end the stream soon because my tummy's rumbling like crazy and I'm actually really hungry now, but that's just not the way that it goes. I'm saying that, so the idea is not to tell them that we need a Discord. I would agree with this. I would agree with this because Axolot is the one that needs the Discord. It's not the people that need the Discord. It's Axolot that desperately needs a platform to actually receive feedback. And if the feedback is only coming through one person, you're statistically setting yourself up for failure. So this is absolutely I don't care how much impact Scrapman actually has. That's never going to be as valuable as actual feedback from more people and more perspectives. I'm sorry, Scrapman, you can even be a genius in how, the feedback that you provide, but you're still not going to see everything. So, absolutely not. That Axolot is the one that needs the Discord. It's not the people want a Discord because of the amount of frustration that there is towards Axolot not getting it, just not listening. So that's why Axolot needs the Discord to get rid of that problem, to get rid of that frustration. And Scrapman is not going to be the one to do it. 100%. He cannot. Boh! Boh! Axolot, just get a Discord. I've settled for just saying Axolot get a Discord for more than a year now, just because I've tried everything else along the way. I've tried to email Axolot directly, and they don't care. They really don't care. I'm pretty sure they send all my emails to spam at this point. So, okay. So you wrote it the wrong way. All right, I'll wait for what you gotta say. Durf, I think that just getting more YouTubers to ask them to make a Discord would probably help, but I don't know, that might be difficult. No, I'm pretty sure Axolot is aware that I want them to have a Discord, but a lot of the thing, there's so much to unpack there with that, and it's just, there's nothing else to say other than that, just Axolot, get a Discord. It's, boh. What I wanted to say is that, yes, we need a Discord, but Scrapman telling devs in a video to do that would have more chance to make it happen. Maybe you're right about that, but honestly, I couldn't care less. I really... It's one of those things that if it's taking Axolot this long and this many other people to scream at them, get a Discord, and they're still not getting it, but then Scrapman is the one that magically turns things around, that's even worse for Axolot's reputation. That's even worse for them as developers to show themselves that they're able to be manipulated by a single person like that, or that it's that controlling of a community, or that there's a gatekeeper that's called Scrapman. This is all terrible. Axolot, just get a Discord. It doesn't matter. You can tweet Axolot right now. If you go on Twitter, you're gonna see, let's see, where is it? Is this not the one? Oops. Right here. They do read all of their tweets, especially on inactive days. So, yes, they see the replies that they get the day that they posted this, but now that they're getting very few replies, the notification's going to come through 100%. So you guys can go ahead and tweet at them any reply right now, Axolot, get a Discord. I'm telling you, they already know that there should be a Discord. They're just choosing not to have one. It's literally a choice at this point. I already tried for more than a year at this point. I I don't know how else to tell you then. I already know that Axolot's choice is an answer no. We just need to tweet at Axolot to get a Discord, and they will. I mean, you can be hopeful if you want. I can say it right now. There you go. Do you think they're going to get a Discord because of that? But anyway, I think if Scrapman is a gatekeeper like that, so to speak, it's only going to be worse for the entire game. Like in the same way that I explained that DEVBLOGs and the way that they're presented is worse for the game because they're not appealing to new players and they're only pushing away their existing players with frustration. I'm not saying that Axolot should not do DEVBLOGs, but I'm saying like, my gosh, don't limit yourselves like that. Don't limit, like they're choosing to limit themselves to. So yeah, no. The idea that that people have to go through Scrapman is absolutely ridiculous, and it's gonna mean the death of this game. Like nothing. Gosh. I'm just trying to seriously consider if that's actually the case with Scrapman. Like, goodbye to this game. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Spy in a Hat. It's extremely sad to see the game is exactly the same that it has been. It's there's so many reasons to be frustrated at Axolot, and there's so many reasons for fanboys to try and come to their rescue. There's a lot of emotions running high and people just being against each other for no reason. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, by design, Axolot can develop their game so that doesn't happen with their own community. But it seems like Axolot really doesn't care, or if anything, it seems like Axolot's trying to capitalize on that by making things as frustrating as possible, by raising emotions as high as possible. And, like, that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, that's just bad. That's just gonna end the game's... That's gonna end the entire career of Axolot. Like, don't... Oh man. Anyway, we're done for today. Durf, do you have a beard? I guess you can call it a beard. I have facial hair, but no, I recently like trimmed it too. So, it depends on your definition of a beard, I guess. In the last GIF, the red tint has a slight change. It becomes a lined pattern. Yeah, the semi-transparent when it's behind a surface. Yeah. I think that's a quality of life improvement. Durf, I don't think kids care though. What about the gatekeeper thing, or about the frustration being there by design? Because like that, I mean, I've touched up on this point. Like, little kids definitely don't care, but that's the thing that Axolot seems to be missing, is that they don't understand the concept of how they're not appealing to new players and how they're just pushing away their existing players. So overall, they're returning a net loss on the amount of people playing the game. I mean, I understand what you're saying here, that you don't think that kids care, but eventually they do. So how, what's the lifetime of a player playing Scrap Mechanic? Is it 1 year? 2 years? And kids are definitely the type of player that would get bored with something, especially if it's not delivering. So it's really the type of, instead, Axolot needs to be giving people an opportunity to be passionate about the game. And this unknown, this line that you typed here, makes you seem like like an Axolot fanboy, like saying a very dismissive statement like, "Oh, none of that matters because kids don't care; they're still gonna buy the game." No. This is completely missing the point about why you can make a much better possibility that, yes, kids also won't care and still will buy the game, but then also other people too. Like, why would you toss away a much better outcome just because you want to? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think we're done here. I'm hungry. I got to get going and put something in my belly. Wait, this stream is still going? Nah, Ruby's Wolf, we're done. We're done here today. We're done. Thanks for everyone for your support, for your likes, for your subs. If you're not subscribed, if you have a red subscribe button on the page right now, that means you have a small peepee. You gotta make that a big peepee and subscribe immediately. But also check out my second channel, Scrap Mechanic Mods, youtube.com/Scrap Mechanic Mods. I'm gonna have a video on there coming pretty soon talking about some stuff. Some stuff. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. This was Scrap Mechanic and Chill. Scrap Mechanic and CHILLax stream. Maybe next time I stream, I'll finally finish that Uno game that I was building. Bye, folks. Have a good night. We need a counter of how many times I said we are done here. I mean, you know, I can just change that. We're finished today. We are finished with this live stream today. What if you're a girl and you have no pee-pee? Oh, well, then, never mind. Maybe I shouldn't say certain things on YouTube. But another part of you is gonna grow all of a sudden into a pee-pee. Anyway, I'm out of here. See ya.